Dreamers Welcome Podcast.
Dreamers Welcome Podcast. We are back in the Dreamers Den, ladies and gentlemen. I go by CEO PESO. Blessed and highly favored. Hope y'all feeling good. Got a guest. Flew in, he came. Shouts out to my man Joe for setting up everything, bro. That's my guy since day one. And yeah, man. I heard you been rocking with Dayton for a while. You be getting a lot of love here.
Love Dayton.
Yeah.
They know what it
Joe
is.
told me, like, yeah, Dayton one of his favorite cities.
I love it, man. They
It's
were
so,
one of the first cities to embrace me.
it's so crazy hearing that because just me being from Dayton, it'd be kind of tough to get the love. It'd be kind of tough, man. But just to hear that, you know, this is one of your favorite cities, man, it's a blessing. You know, Dayton is one of a kind, man. We got gems here. Please introduce yourself for the people.
Oh man, my name is Max Streetz, aka Mr. Going Through It, dog. Who that is, Lil Ray Cuz. And man, I'm here. I done made it to the Dreamers Podcast. I'm a big fan, by the way. Just so I can say, I'm a big fan. I've seen the episodes, man.
Thank
I like
you, bro.
what you do.
Thank you,
like
man.
what you
I
do.
went out on a limb trying to, you know, just build a platform for the city and, you know, people that I know, you know, everywhere else. And I can say it's going good, man. But I really appreciate that. This shit is tough sometimes, man.
Ain't it though?
You gotta keep it going, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
One
we got
man
that
band.
motivation.
But now, how you feeling though, man? What's going on?
Man, blessed and highly favored, man. I'm back in Dayton, which I love. Tomorrow night's my first night on the Local Legend tour. You know what I'm saying? With some guys that's just been real with me since I met them. You know, me, Bubby, J Dot, like Devin.
Shouts out to Bubby, J Dot.
Yeah, these are my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I got my new album's on the way here in 3 weeks, so it's kind of like I'm going on a nice little run for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been at it for like I've been signed by the year.
Okay.
Mako Music, me and Bubby on the same label. That's how we met, actually. I met Bubby, J Dot, and Devin the same day I got signed.
How long ago was that?
Probably about 9 months ago now.
Okay.
I'm going on a year. Yeah, I think I did it last June.
Dope. So the album, Smile Through It All.
Yes, sir.
21st.
April 21st. Smile Through It All. It's been a long time coming.
Man, what's the difference from this album through other albums that you put out? Like Smile Through It All that's a big name though, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it sounds like it's some trials and tribulations we're gonna be hearing about.
And that's really what it is. I mean, my music mostly, the first thing it is my own story. You know, I find that was always the easiest thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Just be who I was. And the Smile Through It All is really about my first year in the game. Because I had a lot of stuff going on, man, from just like it was funny stuff in the beginning when I first got my deal, just with people I was dealing with before, friends switching up, just learning the music industry myself, how to be from just a guy who raps to do things that are professional. And just things like that. I want to be able to tell that story because my fans have been with me from when I was just all the way down at the bottom. That's when they found me. And the goal was, what we talked about was like to climb up together. So I wanted to keep that story going. And through all of that, what I was learning was that, you know, you keep a smile on your face. It's easy to be negative.
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
always find something to complain about. You know what I'm saying? So I decided it was the slogan I was using for myself. Like, no matter what happens to me, I don't care how many people from my city try to diss, how many girls talk about who I used to be or whatever. You know, people, when they can't touch who you is, like the saying goes, they talk about who you used to be.
Exactly.
And my thing
I
was,
know that.
instead of acknowledging and all of that and spending half my day on the internet going back and forth with haters who didn't believe, I was just, you know, you just smile through all of it and you keep working.
Yeah. A phrase I like to say in that perspective, you don't let them see you sweat.
Exactly.
Like that's how I would interpret that when I heard the album name. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I want to touch too a little bit because you're not afraid to put your heart on your sleeve with the type of music you make.
Oh yes, sir.
So like, was that always just a day one thing, or like you just kind of just?
No. As much as I would like to say that's how I started. It was always me. It was I came in the rap game just like most people. Even though I feel like they don't like to admit it, but what they do, trying to sound like everybody else.
Right.
Whatever else was gonna be.
I acknowledge you saying that though. I mean, the switch up had to happen at some point, and then you just.
It was my grandmother was murdered about 3 years ago.
I was going to touch on that. I didn't know if you was going to be comfortable speaking about it.
Oh yeah, no, and that comes with the story. You know, I like to talk about it. She was murdered 3 years ago, but that's when it happened.
Letter to Heaven. Yeah, I got it in the notes. Yep.
Letter to Heaven. But see, now those songs before then, those were the like original records. Like Going Through It, Betrayal to Lies, Letter to Heaven. These are the songs that people first caught on to. That was brand new when I did that.
Right.
Because so after her murder, man, it was just like she was all I had at one point in time. You know what I mean? I won't say because me and my family in a great space right now, but at that time it was really bad. It was just me and her. We was kind of just, you know, each other. So when she was taken from me, I kind of felt like, what did I have to lose? I was going to spend, it could happen. She went to church every Sunday. She gave to anybody she could. She been taking care of a generation of kids. And at the time I was mad, she still ended up murdered. Like, things like that ain't supposed to happen to good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that story just sound crazy alone. Like,
yeah, it was real difficult for me to handle at the time, bro. It was all I had. But what I did was, I felt like I was either going, the last message she sent to me, I still read it all the time to this day, because I had a job as a janitor, right? And I was just real embarrassed because I was trying to rap, bro. And child support had me so deep. Like, I was getting $300 checks, and when they was done with it, they was giving me like $20.
Scraping, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm embarrassed, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do these songs, I'm trying to do this, that, and the third, and I'm like, so I reach out to her, and the last thing she tells me, bro, is, you know, you don't let none of that break you. You keep going. When they see it, when the devil sees what he's trying to do to you don't work, you know what I'm saying? All them evils built against you, they'll deflate. You can do this. You don't do it for, she said, you don't do it for your kids. You don't do it for me. You don't do it for your parents. You do something for yourself. And it's the last message I was able to get from her.
Yeah.
So after that, bro, I just I stripped everything away. It didn't matter. I'm going to give this world exactly who I am, how I feel, just honest to God truth. And I feel like a lot of rappers weren't doing that. The hardest thing to do in rap is find another lane that everybody else ain't covering.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when all I'm hearing is cap, and everybody saying somebody lying, like, okay, well, let's tell the truth.
Yeah, the mumble rap, the auto-tune, whatever. Like, you definitely got a organic style with your music. Like, shouts out to Joe. He was showing me you had a performance. And I'm like, oh my mans can sing. Like, my man's gets busy though.
I'm trying.
Yeah, yeah. But I definitely understand the granny aspect. I was close to mine, and you know, so it just sounded like she was very impactful and helpful in your career as well.
Yeah, and it was just my way to represent her, man. And I feel like I've done pretty well in that fashion. But that's how it happened though. After that, then there was songs. I didn't want to get to this point. And then people you know how you see rappers, then you go back to their cities. Oh, he wasn't this, he wasn't doing that. They try to bring up everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to give you everything that most people hide about themselves.
Yeah.
So you could never bring it back to me later.
Yeah, I mean, who better else to put out, you know, your personal life, or if somebody try to bring up judgmental shit or whatever the case is. Now, I totally respect that. Like, and you can hear it through the music. I'm not being gassing you or nothing. Like, he was playing the songs for me. I'm like, man, cuz dope. And respectfully, I never heard of you, and I'm like, damn,
right.
He's got some good music though.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
So let's take it back real quick, man, because we jumped in heavy. Where you from? Where you was born and raised, and how was your upbringing like as a youngin?
Okay, I'm originally born in Sherman, Texas, 903. It's about 45 minutes outside of Dallas. I moved real early when I was 6. I mean, to give you a tidbit, I don't do on most interviews. I probably only said it once, and that was with Savannah's last week. Me and my mother are 12 years older than each other. I was born, that's my story starts crazy. My mom,
12 years?
Yeah, my mother's 12 years older than me.
Y'all like homies.
Yeah, I tell her all the time, like, she be talking about somebody taking care of her. I'm like, we going to the old folks home together, so you better find somebody to do it for the both of us. But we moved to Minnesota when I was like 6, and then it was kind of back and forth for a while, but I spent most of my life up there in Minnesota. From then on up. I came back to Texas a few times, but I'm from Minnesota though. Yeah,
so I always kept going back to Minnesota. So how's Minnesota, man?
Cold.
Well, obviously.
It's freezing. The thing about it is, see, Minnesota, there's so much talent, man. And it was like, you know what's crazy? So, because the way I love dating, right? People be saying, like, you know, sometimes they can be hate for artists. You know, people down here, like, it's really hard to get that. Yeah. That's how Minnesota is for me. But I think because I'm not from there, because I'm not from here and I am from there, that's like, I feel the same way. It's almost vice versa.
Yeah.
It's just, we ain't never had, like, too many people just do any. I mean, what we have, but even if they do, they, like, forget they from there. They never mention it again.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Riff Raff is from where I'm at, bro. He like Cloquet, Minnesota. Bro, play basketball the whole 9. He's never
I don't ever hear him say where he's from at all. Now I think about it.
He tells people it's Texas and Houston. Riff Raff is from
he
Minnesota.
do be on the he do be on the Houston,
Minnesota.
Yep.
Bob Dylan, Minnesota. We was at the airport today. We got the Prince store, Minnesota. Like, man, we got it good, bro. There was a dude, there was a kid in my neighborhood right a year before me, man. Me and him don't get it too long, but we don't get along too well. And we ain't really got no problems, and I'm trying to show love. His name is Joseph Black. He went viral. He got signed to Capitol Records right a year before I did with another one. So, like, man, my city been burning. You know what I'm saying? It's just real hard to get off the ground. I don't know. I feel like people think Minnesota, and maybe they don't think we got it or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is.
I mean, because, you know, obviously between Atlanta, New York, LA, like
on lock.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the last Midwest type shit, I mean, I don't want to diss nobody. Well, we had MGK. I don't know. I'm just speaking from Ohio's perspective, but just, you know, the Midwest music period, you know, it kind of just get like overlooked sometimes. It's super fucking weird.
Yeah, man, and it seems like we do it almost, I ain't gonna say the best, but it's different, you know what I mean? And it gets real intricate, but all that tells me is I think the time coming.
Yeah, for sure. It's
got to be right around the corner.
And then with Dayton's our musical influence to, you know, the industry, like, you know, I'm blessed to be able to say, like, I just interviewed Roger Troutman's nephew.
Okay.
And I'm cool with them. I went to school with them, like, and you know, Roger and Zap, Ohio players. Like, Dayton has got a lot of culture though, and you definitely fit in with it though, just because, like I said, you got a very euphoric sound of like how you put your music together, and like everybody else is chasing, like, you know, the, like I said, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when did music actually like become like something serious for you? Like, when did it kick in?
Bro, I was really young. Music is the only thing I've ever had. Like, I tell people all the time, bro, I can't change your tire. I'm not a scientist. I don't know what to do. There's nothing about mechanics. I can't do drywall. Like, all I can do is rap. You put me in the studio though, right? I'll figure it the fuck out. Like, cause like that's another thing about Minnesota, but there was no help. I wrote Going Through It in a closet.
Yeah,
but it was no bigger than it was smaller than this room you got right here where that booth is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was just in there constantly for years on end. Now I had an old ass Mac or GarageBand. It was so old that I could never update it because of the plugins I had.
Yeah,
like original auto tunes. Like, I mean,
making it work. Oh, I already know the outdated. Oh my god, bro!
So
yeah,
I've been hitting.
You had to
I've been hitting no updates.
Wait, what program would you record on?
GarageBand. And the original.
Okay, yeah.
No, the original GarageBand, bro. Remember when they first came with them? So mine was like GarageBand.
Nah, 11? Yeah, it was GarageBand used to come with all MacBooks. Like,
that's the one I got.
Yeah,
the original
I
one
remember.
They gave you with.
That's some throwback shit. That's because you couldn't update it because then you'll lose your shit.
Everything, and it cuts off. I watched my homie do it one time, and I was like, "That's it for this." So if anything went wrong, bro, I would take it to the computer store and just duplicate the exact hard drive and tell them, listen, I will tear this place down if y'all change anything. Because it's got like $10,000, $17,000 worth of plugins. And we ended up getting on like a burned disc. So I ended up getting a crack real young. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
And there would never be a way that I would be able to get that stuff.
Them was the fucking days. We was hacking the shit out of programs. That shit, because I was recording on Nuendo and Cubase.
Oh, I had Cubase.
And I remember the fucking programs, and they come through on the little DVD disc. We was smart as shit pulling that shit
trying to get on, man. That's what,
because I used to engineer a lot of people, so it was like, I knew all about the programs, and I knew, like, look, we're gonna have to ride this 06 program out till 2012, goddamn it.
Right, because this shit is expensive. You ain't had no choice either that or not rap.
Yeah, then once you found a plug who would get you the plugins and everything, it was just like, shit, like, we gonna have to work with this.
Hell yeah. Whenever you could. And I got lucky, man. I got a bunch of them. Like, I had all of them. Yep. And I was never gonna let that shit go. And I didn't want to relearn it because I didn't have an engineer. So in the beginning, bro, I didn't even know how to pan a record.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I remember when I first figured out how to take a take, bro, and put them to the side like that,
left and right.
Bro, I was in my studio like I was Jesus. This shit is gold.
Nah, you know the funny thing, because I learned how to engineer and do everything off YouTube, and I remember I was like looking up. I didn't even know what pan meant. I didn't know what compressor was, so I'm trying to figure shit out, like sound like Jeezy, like you know what I mean, or figuring out KY engineering and shit like that, and trying to mimic that shit. So, man, so Going Through It, that was a record that you kind of would say it popped off and shined some light. Yeah,
Going Through It is to this day it's my biggest song ever. Now in my city locally, I've been doing music forever. I've been on stages running clubs since I was winning competitions at like 14. I had a club at like 19. I was the first people to bring like stars to my city. They was like B-list stars though. It was like Mike Jones, Bone Crusher, like things like that.
But still some clout. But
it was only right there in that area though. Outside of Minnesota, wouldn't nobody know who I was. Going through it made me I had been places to do things, but I was like opening acts then. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Going Through It changed everything to where I became a name. Like people knew who Max Streetz was.
Yeah. So who's some of your influences though?
In the very beginning, Ja Rule that's when I started. That's who I wanted to be. But you know people skip across though, because I'm from that generation and I'm not going to. I wanted to be Lil Bow Wow too. Just like, boy, when Bounce With Me hit, man, I had the CD. I made my mama go get it. I had Sammy. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers was definitely afraid to be like they was banging Bow Wow. Like he was coming through with some shit.
I had both, bro. I had Beware of the Dog. I had all of it. I was a serious fan, but Ja Rule was always my favorite because that was this type of music I really just wanted to make. I dig the vibe, you know, the girls always around. That was kind of like my thing.
Man, Ja Rule Put It On Me. It was like, it was up. It was up. Like, it was up right there.
Needs a lady.
Yeah, I'm like, and I had a version with Lil Mo. I'm like, man, that shit was definitely, come on. That's our era though. That's our era. Yeah. So yeah, man. So yo, Spotify, like describe that because you got like 85,000 plus active listeners on it.
Yeah.
So just explain like when you actually started seeing the process and everything start to work out for you though. How was that? It was
okay. So I'm gonna tell you about the blessings of God, right? So the actual going through a song, we were doing a mixtape. Going Through It was the last song on there. And now my producer at the time, he did out my videos, his name is Cool Woo. He had been trying to get me to do that beat for as long, like 2 years straight. I just wouldn't do it. Like, nah, bro, I don't want to. Finally, he gets me to do it. I do the song, I'm like, it's over because we needed one song. I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, the record's gone. The one I made, it's just, I don't know. His dad don't know how it happened. Just
technology just
off of it.
Yeah, it's just shit happens.
He was like, well, man, just do it again. That's why it was only 1 minute and 26 seconds. I'm like, bro, I don't even remember what that was. And then I got into an argument, you know what I'm saying, with a woman I was talking to at the time that day. And my homies was doing some crazy stuff as always. I grabbed me a little Hennessy, went in that closet, and when I sang out that day, just happened to be going through it.
Clutch. Damn,
and,
man.
And if you listen to the original record, bro, on YouTube with the ones with the millions of views, it says, I ain't even want to do this shit. I'm glad just to be a part of the realm. And that's what I mean. When you get to do things inside of people like that, I was like, I fucks with J-Dot heavy. I've seen him do his thing. I fucks with Bubby. Bubby was one of the first ones I saw too. And people like Superstar O. Now that I'm in a position like to sit here and do the same thing, bro, I love shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, I like the way it looked, just the way you conducted and talked about yourself. It wasn't, I've been to some people who claim to do podcasts, whatever else, but not actually been there myself, but seen it. And it just wasn't, I got a good vibe and I hadn't even met you yet. We just met each other then, but just even watching it, I was tuned in and a fan. So when it's a show I already watch and I get to be on it, that's the days I feel like somebody.
Yeah, I mean, because I try to keep it organic. I just try to keep it like just conversational. Like, you know, for you to take the time to get on my platform, I want them to learn more about you. Like, if it's 1 or 2 clicks that's gonna add to your plays or whatever the case is, like, man, I'm more a person that like I want to give more than I receive. So if I can put you out on my platform and, you know, however many views to do or whatever, like, you know, like I just like to keep it organic.
And then I show the love too, man. I let it be known because my stuff does really well sometimes. I let them know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I was treated with the people. I'm a big supporter. It's like, I try to, as corny as it sounds, man, but you learn, in my mind, you learn these things so early, bro. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah, nah, literally, that's how I've been living most of my life.
I'm telling you.
Like that's the only way. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, when it's time for us to get in our bag and show we them niggas, then we'll take it there.
We do. We got to, But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's just real cool, and that's it. And because when you live by them things, bro, when it got to get outside of that or something like that, I've always gave respect first.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing to nobody. I don't want done to me. I'm big believers in karmas and things like that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And the world is huge. If it ain't a positive vibe and things like that, it's easy for me to move around.
Yeah. You know it's just having that love reciprocated. Like that's all I've been trying to do. That's why I don't look at nobody too big or too small in a sense to do my pod. Like, everybody got a fan base. Everybody got somebody that's paying attention.
Right.
And you know,
you never know.
Yeah.
Because you got to see whoever going, like, what's that saying? You got to see me coming down on the way up. Watch how you treat people, you know, because you're going to see them same folks.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, man.
Man, so you got the tour coming up.
Yes, sir. Local legend.
But this ain't your first tour.
This is my first tour where it's mine with my name on it. I've been touring with Bravo and Savannah from Mako and them for a while. I've done some things with my people like Mike Page and them, like support acts and things like that. But this is the first tour like where my name is on them tickets and them flyers.
How you feeling about that, man?
Well, I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited. Like, it's a
nice lineup too. I think, how many cities is it? Is it?
It's
man. At least 8 or 10.
Yeah, like 10, 11 on there.
Yeah.
And y'all add some more.
Yeah, y'all hitting some states. Like, y'all like,
we in Memphis
on schedule.
Florida,
Wisconsin,
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa blew me. I'm like, y'all niggas about to go to Iowa. Like, that shit dope though.
But you know, and I've been there though. So Iowa got more colleges. So my very first show I did with I was just a kid. I should have been in it. It was like my first celebrity show. It was like 15. And I'm in this club now. All they bars, bro. I'm in Iowa City, Iowa, stacked back to back. We're doing it with the Slim Thug. It was the biggest crowd I had ever seen. These white guys was just everywhere. The glow stick lights. I still watch the video on YouTube to this day. It was something like, and it was things like that got me addicted to the game. Man, I didn't even know it could be stuff like that.
So when you in the midst of like doing, like, you know, you do a show like that, like when you think back on it, is it a blur? Because you watched the video. But is it a blur in the moment of doing it? Like,
of course. And I'm so young at the time, I don't even think I'm supposed to be here anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then, but when I see how long ago it was, I've been thinking about how long I've been doing this. It was like, man, I had survivor's remorse for a long time. Even though I'm not saying I'm the biggest anything or whatever else, but it was just like, I wasn't sure, like, why me, you know what I'm saying? How did I get picked? But I look at things like that, like, man, I have been at this for a while. Like, pat yourself on the back for a second, bro.
Yeah.
Because you could have, like everybody else, I quit music back then, every other week. I'm not doing this no more. Nobody will listen to my song. It's the greatest shit ever.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like,
but Kanye got one of the best sayings ever in his flows, man. He said, giving up is harder than trying. And I heard that, and it's just like, man, we too deep in the game. Go back to the bleachers, man. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to keep going.
Every time, bro.
Yeah. Like,
all these years in this, and what else I'm going to do now? Like, then it's just like.
Yeah, especially when you see it panning out for you. It's just like, because now I feel like as an artist, like, obviously, yeah, it'd be dope to have the Drake Future headlines. But if you got a cult following.
And you can move around and live. I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
with that, bro.
That's cool to me.
It's people make 7 figures a year. We ain't never heard their name.
Man, listen,
doing what they love.
Yep. You know once I seen that, I'm like, yeah, you just gotta keep going and putting your shit out, and the fan base is gonna come. Undeniable music is never gonna be overlooked as long as you just still putting it out though.
And continuing. Consistency will get you.
Exactly.
Consistency is key with everything. As corny as that shit sound, bro, if you just keep going, you know what I'm saying? Eventually it's gonna catch on because you get better in that practice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The music gets better. The people, they say somebody's gotta see something 7 times before they remember it. So imagine like rappers post a video once and that's it. You'll spend thousands of dollars on this video and share it one time because you too cool to repost it. Do you know going through it was out for a year before it went viral, bro? But you were steady pushing it though. Steady pushing. No, see, I wasn't actually because I didn't like it in the beginning. I never liked the song. Right. The caption. Right, but then I was reading YouTube or where you do like TikTok or like when you're supposed to post and what. None of that shit worked. The algorithm, yeah. So one night, bro, it's like 11 o'clock where they say it's the worst time to do it. I'm finally trying to type the words on the screen, just a piece for the hook. You know what I mean? And like the person I was with at the time used to hate it. Like, all you care about is rap, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, and I could hear her coming up the stairs. So I'm trying to hurry up and finish this. And I do it, bro, and I throw the phone. So act like I ain't know. Like you chilling. It's like no music activity. And then in the morning, the dude who shot the video blowing me up. Answer your phone. Like, bro, you gonna get me in trouble? Man, what is it? It's like, look at TikTok. 250,000. Just overnight, when they say it was the worst thing to play, he keeps going. It's 300,000. The duets is going crazy, but it's going until we finally hit 1 million. Then when we get to about 750,000, Mako reaches out. Like, what's your situation? Little do they know. And I ain't even going. People get on here in front all the time. First of all, Mako was the only people who called, and second of all, I didn't play it cool at all. What y'all want to do? I'm in tune. Yeah, y'all reaching out. Yeah, what we doing? How we gonna make this make sense? Yeah, I wanted in the door because I knew what it would be if I got a chance to work. You know what I'm saying? I would have carried the crates. You know, you could have started me as an intern when you want. I needed just a door opportunity. You never know who you meet. Yeah, no ego. I think that's a big part of how my career blossomed too, is because I just never really had an ego or no huge pride. Like I said, we could take it there if we need to, but I always seen opportunities as like, man, let this be the next stepping stone. Yeah, to whatever else I got going. Yeah, man. So to touch on your videos, because I was watching a lot of them though. So are you coming up with the ideas from? Because it's like very detailed, like type storylines in a sense. Most of the time, me and the dude Mike White would come up with them together. That's why me and him was a real good partnership at one time, because he could take any idea I had and be very well at bringing it to life. And we didn't have a lot of people, bro. Right. It was people laughing at us for still doing what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all still trying to rap. Everybody's still rapping. Like, you know what I mean? So we had to work with what we got. And once again, it was just trying to do the opposite. Everybody was standing on the corner with 150 people, a bunch of guns, a bunch of drugs, getting your video banned anyway because couldn't nobody see it. We tried to do the exact opposite. We tried to do my bad, excuse me. That's Cap, man. Shout out Cap. Well, I love dating, I tell you what. we tried to I wanted to do the exact opposite. I wanted to stand by myself, maybe put me in somewhere that people, I was in front of a lake the first time I went viral, to where they would just focus on me and the music and the story I was trying to tell.
Right.
So all that flashiness was taken away. So the video, because we didn't have the greatest camera or that much stuff, we had a nice car and me, I wanted them to focus on the performance and my story.
Right.
Because if I can catch you with that right there before anything else, if I got a piece of jewelry on, this, that, and the third, and you fuck with that, now you're just going to get to watch the journey. There was no fronting. I didn't come in like, I didn't tell y'all I had 100 bricks like Jeezy, and I had murdered 500 niggas, and I was running this whole block, because that wasn't what I was doing, bro.
Yeah, it was you and the lyrics, yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up coming across one of your videos, like you had homie in the trunk or something.
Oh, big pressure.
And I was just like, I'm like, okay. But nah, I mean, but it's selling the story. I mean, the song as well, though. So that's why I was like, yeah, like, you know, just to get the detail. I mean, because, man, coming up with visuals, like you said, when you want to be on a street corner or nothing like that, like, all them trippy ass edits. I mean, shouts out to y'all that do it. But I don't know, man, that's something I was like, I could not get into as a videographer. Like, I like cinematic shit, like, storylines, or like you said, like just coming in as you type shit though. So
and we developed it as a style, bro. You're right, but in the beginning, I think it's because we just didn't know how. We didn't know how to do none of that.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as we've been doing it, I mean, we professionals at this point. But yeah, we was kind of like, I like to say we was like the blueprint of like how we would, you know, like you said, you put out the video like no jewelry, no nothing, just decent camera, but I'm gonna let the song speak for itself though.
And let it do it, and we would do it consistently. See, I could do that, a new freestyle almost every single week.
Yeah.
Or just a piece of something or whatever else. So like that content would just keep coming. When people, if they was doing 10 videos a week, I was gonna do 25, whether they liked it or not. And it was gonna come out on the same day. We used to do the Mac Monday until it hit, so you got used to me in this routine.
Yeah, picking up on the algorithm.
Yeah, because the songs I was making weren't bad. It wasn't like that I couldn't rap. I had to find myself in a style. Once we had that, and we were learning to do shorter content then, you know what I'm saying? It was like before Reels and then was like what they were supposed to be, but we was already doing 60 seconds because that's what they allowed.
Yeah.
So if all people was watching stuff was 60 seconds, then I'm gonna give you a 60-second video each
I remember it was 15 seconds. Like, man, like
yes.
Shit was like, boy, you better get creative.
You gotta do
get
something.
creative with this 15 seconds.
You gotta hit it.
Yep. Then we got boosted up to 60. I remember when that shit transitioned over. I'm like, oh, they giving us 60 seconds? Like, this shit going up.
And as soon as we wanted to just run that circle, you know what I'm saying? And another greatest thing about it is because we didn't know much about ads and things like that. Everything I got, I can pull up my TikTok right now. I've never paid for an ad. Well, we might have run some now. I got the label and stuff, so I don't know what they doing. But up until the time I got signed, when I was getting all my millions of views and things like that, I've never even tagged anybody in a video.
Word. So you just kept it.
Because I wanted them to be there for me.
Not produced by nothing, like just.
Because I figured they wouldn't even care. Where we put the videos, because we wanted people to think we was cooler than we was. We came up with the name Cool Woo. Maybe they'll think it's a cameraman from somewhere else, and we got this, and we'll just put it over here.
Yeah.
That's why I lost my original YouTube page, so I had to rebuild one. That page was over at 10,000 now. My new one has the 10K, but it was like, that's why I tell you it was struggles in the beginning, bro. It was a grind for me. I've been signed for a year. I'm just now getting to put music out. No fault of the labels or whatever else. They just had things going on, and then I had some situations with stuff I was doing before I got to the label. So, bro, that's why it was called Smile Through It All. It was a struggle. And right when I went viral, I had to stop rapping.
But it's that, wait, what?
Yeah, bro, I went viral since. That's what going through it is the last thing that they got from me, damn near. Maybe had one after, and because I released it the day I got signed. The label had to figure out what to do with me because we had lost my YouTube page.
Yeah. Damn.
So just to make sure it made sense and everything else, because it would have just went upon random and deaf ears or somebody that wouldn't have supported me at all.
Right.
So we had to jump through a bunch of hoops, and then Mako had to go through their own thing, you know what I mean? And it was just... Yeah, it was a lot, man. I lived in Minnesota. We just had to figure it out. It was
a little rebuild. Man, it's so damn bad. I just hit like 1,300 on YouTube, and that's been since 06. I can't imagine trying to rebuild that again,
bro.
10K,
bro. I was salty. I'm there though, down to I'm 150 off. So y'all watching this, I'm trying to get there for the album
slight
come
flex,
out on the 21st.
Slight flex, 150. Nah. Man, so on tour, man, we doing merch, we doing the whole nine.
Insider hint, the merch just came out today. We leaving here to go pick it up.
Dope.
Yeah, I just got it for the tour tomorrow.
I'm gonna need you drop one off again.
I got you. I was telling him I was trying to go beforehand because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
we just couldn't get him yet. And I didn't want.
Well, you got a tight schedule this. Yeah, you got a tight schedule this weekend. I mean, we'll make it work though. I mean, because what the show is tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, I already told Joe I'm rocking with that. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there, and then I'm gonna be here. Boy, you finna get all the exclusives on here today. I'm gonna be here an extra because I got my first single. I got 2 singles. My first one, of course, is with Bubby Galloway. And then we got another one, the one I'll be doing my first solo, and it's gonna be with Spencer Wolf. I'm gonna be here shooting him in Dayton.
Spencer Wolf had to get that together.
Yo,
shouts out to Spence, man.
Bro, he gave me some ideas from what we finna do, and I'm probably gonna be one of the ones for me. It's gonna show my growth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man, so through everything going on, man, what's next? What's the future providing? Like what's going on for the what we in second quarter right now? Yeah. So
I'm gonna try to. I've been gone for so long. I'm hoping to try to get they still been fucking with me because like the way I've grown. I think I topped out at 101 monthly listeners. That was last month.
Yeah,
we down to 85 now. But it was just to show them like I'm trying to apologize to them for being away so long and get back to my normal formula of nonstop. I want to, just like anybody else, bro. I kind of want to go down. I don't want to just I would have done rap for free. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest about it. I was just that person. So I want to have that legacy. I want to create something like T-Pain did with The Sound of Music, like Michael Jackson did, like, Chris Brown does. Like, I'm going to end up being a studio
have a voice
rap.
in it. Yeah.
And elevate. Like, not just that I went, and there's no disrespect to him because he's a great rapper, but like, Jeezy's kind of known for just, the people you plateau. Yep. You know what I'm saying with that. There was no Michael Jackson did Black and White. What's the song with We Are the World? Man, you know what I'm saying?
Michael Jackson,
Usher's Confessions. I need something that hits, bro. I want a legacy.
Confessions, man.
I want a legacy record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that elevated. When T-Pain first got in, like we didn't use auto-tune before that. Now, and if we did what we did, but we didn't know that's what it was and things like that. But it automatically shifted rap. When Jay-Z started spitting that shit about elevating your mind, it automatically shifted rap. I want to be able to create something just like that. If it takes me, they say Spency, what's his name? Quincy didn't do Thriller till he was 60.
Right.
So if it takes me that long,
hopefully, hopefully it come before 60.
Right. And I ain't gotta produce it for somebody else, but like I want them to remember me.
Yeah, man. So before we wrap up, I ask everybody this question, man. What's a good quote or a piece of advice that you live off of?
That I live off of. I'm gonna go to Robert Greene. That's my favorite. But I'm gonna go with E.T. just because I've been using it. E.T. the hip hop preacher. Just I've been saying it for a long time, and it's the title of his book. You.
Eric Thomas. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a solid one.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answers, but I think the simpler the quote is, the better it resonate though.
Yeah,
man,
he can get me through. I fucks with E.T.
Yeah. Nah, man, I appreciate you coming on the platform, man. Like, I'm definitely a fan and a friend at this point, and I think that this episode gonna do pretty good, man. Like I said, shouts out to Joe because man, when he brag about you, he brag about you.
Yes, so, man, he get it
Joe
done,
Loyal
bro.
One
Had me in the spot.
Yeah. Nah, so I appreciate you, bro.
You too, man. Thanks for having
me. Tour
man.
Coming up, man.
Local Legend tour.
Dreamers Welcome podcast. Y'all keep dreaming. We out.
All right.
Dreamers Welcome podcast.